Welcome in. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. We're doing another one. You guys seem to really like the first one that I did. We're gonna do another reaction video here. This is one that you guys sent in on the Discord for things that I should react to, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's already pissing me off. It's things that are free in the UK that cost money in America. Um, you guys and I are probably going to be at like very different opinions on this, which is awesome. The Discord is exactly what we want to have. We want to have conversations about it. So without further ado, let's get into this video. All right, like I said, this is 7 things that are free in the UK that cost money in America. Very intrigued to see what she says. I have a feeling I know a couple of them, but yeah, let's do this.
For the supposed land of the free, there's a lot in the US that isn't free. And maybe that makes sense for a capitalist society,
money.
But then I started thinking about my new home, the UK, and I was like, wait, how can the UK make these things free, but the US can't? In fact, I think the only thing I could think of that's free in the US that's not in the UK is refills. In this video, we're talking about 6 things that are free in the UK that aren't free in the USA. And funnily enough, I think this topic will blow the minds of more Americans than it does Brits.
It
certainly did for me when I first moved to the UK in 2012.
It says 7.
Number 1, the NHS, or healthcare being free at the point of use. Perhaps the most iconic example of a public service that is free in the UK but not in the USA is the National Health Service. Established in 1948, the NHS was founded on the principle that healthcare should be free at the point of delivery and funded instead by general taxation. This means...
Okay. I don't need to get super into this one, but funded by general taxation. So that's something that we are going to disagree on. I do not want to be taxed more. I don't want to be taxed at all. Another thing that comes along with that, because it's free, you guys are going to use it all the time, right? Like, hey, it's free. Like, I'm hurt, I'm sick, whatever. Let's go get it checked out. That can cause a lot of waiting, which is something I've heard even in California. California is somewhat moving towards that side of things where it's free or whatever. And the wait times to get things fixed, like my ex's dad had a huge deal with his arm where he literally couldn't sleep. He couldn't do anything with his arm or it would cause severe pain. For him to get that fixed in California was going to take like 7 months. 7 months to get something fixed in his shoulder. So he came here where we're at in Colorado and he got it done in 2 weeks. Yes, he probably had to pay more, but there's a convenience of being able to get it done. So from everything I've heard, that's kind of the give and take there. It's free and takes a long time, or it's a little bit more expensive and you can get it done quick. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say on that. So let's keep going.
That UK residents can visit general practitioners, access hospital care, undergo surgery, receive maternity services, and so much more without ever receiving a bill. I used to work in a setting in the UK that required helping out university students, and I vividly remember an incident where one of them, an American, was having a medical crisis. We immediately went to call for an ambulance, and this person panicked and asked us not to. The reason? They were worried that they couldn't afford it on a student income. While continuing to dial 999, we had to remind them that life is different in the UK and that they wouldn't be charged for an ambulance coming out to attend to their life-threatening situation. Because, in stark contrast, the American healthcare system is primarily private. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, as of 2023, over 27 million Americans were uninsured and millions more were underinsured. The average annual premium for employer-sponsored family coverage in the US was around $23,000 in 2023. Even these insured individuals typically face co-pays, deductibles, and surprise bills. You can call the ambulance, but you're probably going to have to pay a bill for it. So while you can't breathe, you have to decide, is this really necessary or should I try and tough it out? And as I've said before on this channel, and the comments will come, I know, the NHS is not actually free because it is paid for by taxation, but it's a much different way of funding the service, and it is free at point of use. As long as you're a citizen or legal resident in the UK with access to public funds, they're not going to look up your tax records before they give you the surgery. And medical bankruptcy.
Okay, that's fair. But what, I guess based on your guys' taxation, right? If you were to take that same amount that you're getting taxed, what is the correlation, to what we would either pay for insurance here or what we would pay out of pocket? Like if you're paying, I don't know, X amount of your salary in taxes for this specific thing, uh, and you never use it, like that sucks for you. You've never used it. Um, I could see this being beneficial if you're using it all the time, like people that have lots of medical health issues, and like I'm very blessed. I really haven't had anything like that. This could be super awesome for those people, and I totally understand that. But like here, um, even if you're not insured, really what all insurance is doing here is negotiating on your behalf to like the hospitals and the practitioners. Yes, there's ways that you hit a deductible and they cover the rest. They're still on the back end. They are negotiating prices. You can do the same thing here, even if you don't have insurance. You can call the medical practitioners, you can call the hospitals, you can call people and literally negotiate prices down. My aunt and uncle had to do it. My cousin had a tumor removed from her leg, and they were trying to charge astronomical amounts of money. And my aunt and uncle were literally able to call them and cut it down to like a quarter of the price just by talking to them. So I think the astronomical prices of healthcare is crazy, but it is a negotiation. It is a practice. It's something that we can actually work through together. So I don't think a lot of people realize that. So yeah, we'll keep going.
Bankruptcy is virtually unheard of in the UK, but it's a common issue in the US. A 2019 study published in the American Journal of Public Health found that 66% of US bankruptcies were tied to medical issues, including
I figured
bills
this was going to be
and
the
time
longest
lost
section,
from
and I
work.
was right.
Now,
just
the
looking
next
at
thing
those
on my
the
list
bottom.
is free university tuition in Scotland for Scottish students. In Scotland, university education is free for Scottish students who attend public universities in Scotland. The Scottish government covers tuition costs through the Student Awards Agency for Scotland, also known as SAAS. So,
Is that
in an
also
academic
taxes?
year,
I don't
eligible
know. I don't know
students
what that
paid
means.
£0 in tuition fees. Now, this does differ within the UK, so this is in sharp contrast to England, where tuition fees can reach around £9,000 per year. But comparing it to the USA,
Still pretty
college
reasonable.
tuition is often extortionate across the pond.
That's
According to the
very
College
true.
Board, the average annual tuition in the US for public 4-year in-state universities was $10,940, and that is cheap. For private
is
institutions,
cheap.
it exceeded
Mine was very,
$39,400.
very expensive. and that's
Additionally,
why I dropped
American
out.
students graduate with an average debt of around $30,000, which creates long-term financial burdens.
Okay, this is where my thought process on this is going to go different. Not everybody needs to go to college. I'm just going to put that out there. I did not finish college. Clearly, I did one semester. I did half a year. I feel like college is a scam for most people, right? That we're gonna disagree on that. Um, there are so many kids that are just going to college right now just because they're told to go to college. They end up with degrees in business, degrees in finance, things like that, which is great if that's actually what you're going to use it for. I have one of my best friends, Austin. He is like a very good financial consultant right now. Fantastic. He took it and he took it into a private sector and is getting paid to do it. But when you're looking at the other 100,000 kids that graduated with the same degree that year, there's like 75% of them that literally can't get a job in that field. So you have $100,000 of debt if you went to University of Colorado here that you're making no money on. You're using that degree for nothing. Um, so like in my case, I saw that what I was doing was not going to benefit me in the ways that I was told, and I left. And I've been working ever since, and that's just something that I do. I was down to work. I was like, all right, let's go get a job. Let's figure this stuff out. Um, Found something I was really passionate about, so flying and aviation, and I was like, all right, how do I do that? And there was a specialized school for that. I think where most people go wrong is they go to a university or they go to the college of their dreams, and the college of their dreams doesn't have anything to do with what they actually want to do in life. My old roommate, he specifically went to school to become a lineman, work on telephone poles, work on wires, work on stuff like that. Went for 2 years rather than four, got most of it paid for with grants and loans and stuff like that. His loan was very, very small. And in those 2 years, was able to get a gigantically paying job right as he finished school. It was literally, he was done, he moved out here, we moved in together, and he was making six figures. That's how it worked. There's stuff like that all over the place. You can go become a plumber, you can become an electrician, you can, like, all these crazy things that you don't really think about can make you a lot of money if that's what you're chasing, but they also can be very freeing. And it doesn't take a lot of money or time to get to that point. Even what I'm doing takes a crap load of money. Okay, my loan is exponential. It is well into the six-figure mark, but like, I started in February, I'm going to be done in November, and then it's just building my 1500 hours, and then I'm getting into an industry where the salary cap, or like the cap of what I'm going to be able to get paid, is extremely high. Well over what I'm paying for school per year. Obviously, it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but A, it's something I love. B, it's something that was quick and I was passionate about it and could get it done very fast. And then C, I'm actually going to enjoy myself once I have that job. It's going to offer me freedom. It's going to offer me financial freedom. It's going to offer me like opportunities to live in different places that I want to live. So I feel like a lot of people that are just going to college because that's what they're told they need to do, that's what they've like grown up knowing, like, that's wrong for a lot of people. Figure out what you want to do, figure out if you need to go to college for that, and then go to college at that point. That's kind of like my soapbox there with college and stuff. Yeah, there we go.
This difference between the US and Scotland in particular illustrates how education policy reflects broader social goals. Scotland views higher education as a public good worth investing in, while in the US, it's often treated as a personal investment in a financial commodity. Now let's talk about bank accounts. In the UK, opening and maintaining a basic current account is typically free. Major UK banks such as Barclays, Lloyds, and HSBC offer accounts with no monthly maintenance
I've
fees.
ever heard.
You can set up direct debits, use debit cards, and access ATMs across the country at no cost. And this is very common and they're easy to find. These aren't some like hidden deal that you have to find when they come around. In contrast, many American banks charge monthly service fees on checking accounts unless the customer maintains a minimum balance or sets up direct deposits. So there's all.
What? Okay. What? Hold on. The minimum balance thing, totally get. Sometimes you just can't hold that balance. The direct deposit though is like nothing. I am literally not getting paid right now. Haven't for the last 6 months. Have not been charged because, I have a direct deposit even set up. I don't even have to have money coming into it. A lot of banks, like my bank is huge. It's PNC Bank. They just bought another bank. I think it was First Bank, something like that. They just bought a whole nother bank. They're gigantic. They're everywhere. They own like so much property where you can find one literally anywhere you're at. Zero fees. I have a high yield savings account. I have a normal savings account. I have a checking account. I've got a priority savers account, which is if I have something that I want to save up for, I can specifically put money in that account. It's going to help me save to that point, and then there's no fee when I pull out of that account. Like, I have all of this. Very simple. Took me, I think, 30 minutes to set up when I went in and I was just like, hey, I want to start a checking account. They're like, how much do you want to put in? I said $60. $60 is how much I started this checking account with. Didn't charge me a fee, didn't do nothing. It was in my account and they were like, have fun. Like, this one, I don't understand. Not that hard. Also, direct deposit, you can have any job. Any job can give you a direct deposit. Literally. And also, if they're paying you in cash, they're paying you in checks, anything like that, just talk to the bank. They can help waive the fees. I feel like a lot of what she's bringing up, you just got to talk. You just got to go in and talk, which people are scared of. I get it. People are scary. We don't want to leave our houses, whatever. But just talk to people. Takes 20 minutes. Just a little conversation. Your life can get better.
Kinds of requirements that you have to fulfill. According to Bankrate's 2023 study on the topic, the average monthly maintenance fee for a non-interest bearing account in the US was $5.14, which amounts to around $60 annually. Overdraft fees in the US also remain steep, with the average fee around $30 per transaction. While some US banks have—
What did she just say?
Remains steep, with amounts to around $60 annually. Overdraft fees in the US also remain steep, with the average fee around $30 per transaction. While some—
Okay, overdraft fees. There are some banks that have zero overdraft fees. just go look for that. Like if you know you're in this situation where it might get to that point. You're in a couple rough months. You currently are looking for a job, whatever. Go find a bank that doesn't have any overdraft fees, guys. Like it's crazy that is a like big deal. Like I understand it. I'm paycheck to paycheck. It's how I've been forever. Like I'm slowly building my way out of that. So I've definitely gotten my share of overdraft fees and they suck. But there's a lot of things I could have done to avoid it. So there's that.
US banks have started offering no-fee accounts. The industry-wide practice of charging for basic banking services is still very common. In this respect, the UK banking system appears to prioritize accessibility and financial inclusion more consistently. Next up,
can I open a UK bank account if I live in the US? Like, is that legal? Because I would like to test some things out. Like, what are your guys' interest rates over there? My high yield is pretty high. What's your guys' high yield bank interest rates? I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
Is free prescriptions in Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Prescription charges are another area where some UK residents enjoy a benefit that Americans do not.
This is also tied in with
Scotland,
the
Wales,
stuff.
and Northern Ireland, all prescriptions are free for residents. This policy was introduced in Wales in 2007, Northern Ireland in 2010, and Scotland in 2011, with the goal of removing barriers to medication adherence and public health. In England, prescriptions are not free, but the cost is fixed and is around £9 per item, although many people are exempt, including children, the elderly, pregnant women, and those with certain chronic conditions.
I can't disagree with
this
is
one. Unheard of.
I feel like it's
in
also
the US.
paid for
In contrast,
by taxes,
prescription costs in the US are highly variable and often excessive. The Commonwealth Fund reported that in 2022, the US had the highest per capita pharmaceutical spending in the world, with the average person spending over $1,200 per year on prescription.
Pause right there. Another deal with prescriptions here in the US, whether you have insurance or not, it's another negotiation, right? We as a family here have like the lowest insurance you could possibly have. Our deductible per person is $12,000 per year. If we're hitting $12,000 deductible, we've done some craziness this year, right? With that being said, that still gives us our prescriptions for free. I haven't had to pay for a prescription in like 4 years. And we have the lowest insurance possible. So like another area where there's definitely ways around these prescription costs.
Drugs. The price of insulin in particular has drawn public outrage. While a vial of insulin costs about £25 in the UK, in the US it can cost up to $300. The UK system reflects a public health approach, while the American model is market-driven, with pharmaceutical companies playing a major role in pricing. Or do you have like a different... Now, cultural access is another area where the UK excels in providing free resources.
What's cultural
Major national
access?
Museums in the UK, including the British Museum, the National Gallery, the Natural History Museum, the Museum of Scotland, the list goes on.
I don't like how she
they
says
offer
museum.
Free general admission. While they may suggest or ask for donations,
this was in Ted Lasso. Just throw that out there.
Or charge for special exhibitions, the core collections are open to the public at no cost. By contrast, many leading museums in the US charge entrance fees. For example, admission to the Museum of Modern Art in New York is $25. The Field Museum in Chicago charges $30 for adults. While some American museums do have the occasional free days, these are exceptions typically rather than the norm.
How does the museums in the UK then, how do they make money to pay their employees? Is it all like government subsidized at that point? Because then that's just more reliance on the government, which I know you guys love your government over there. You love your parliament, whatever. I don't like government. I never have, never will. Even if my party is currently running the country, I still don't like the government. I don't want them involved in anything I do. They're involved in everything I do, trust me, but I don't want them involved in anything. So is that like, is it all government subsidized over there? Like, do all the employees get paid through the government? Because like here we charge per person, to pay the employees. That's how they get paid. They also are able to, pay for new exhibits that way. They're able to like bring in new things that people actually want to see and want to learn about. So a give and take here. I don't know how they're paid. I don't know how they get the stuff that they get, but that's just off the dome. I obviously haven't watched this video before hopping on here, so yeah.
And last on my list is free access to nature and national parks. The UK's 15 national parks, including the Lake District and
It's kind of the same
Snowdonia,
thing
are
here
open to
for
the
me,
public
right?
free of charge. There may be parking or facility fees, but there's no general
Okay.
admission charge. You can just go in and enjoy the
Facility fees? Do you have to pay to go piss in the bathroom? Do you have to pay to use the restroom?
national park. This
gonna look that
policy
up.
underscores the idea that nature should be freely accessible to everyone. In the United States, don't get me wrong, the national park system is vast, it's beautiful, it's worth visiting, but access often comes with a fee. As of 2024, entrance to parks like Yosemite, Yellowstone, and the Grand Canyon costs around $35 per vehicle. You can get an America the Beautiful annual pass to national parks, which costs $80. While these funds help with maintenance and preservation, the cost can discourage frequent visits, particularly for low-income families. Moreover, privatized concessions within U.S. parks often mean higher costs for food, lodging, and tours, where the UK tends to maintain a more open and less commercialized approach. That brings me to the end of this video. Comment below on anything you found surprising. As always, thanks for watching.
Okay. Yes to the national parks one. Very interesting take, right? We do charge. It helps in preservation. It helps in, like, paying the people that work there. The rangers. My ex's sister works at Yosemite. It's really not that bad, guys. Like, if you are those types of people that really want to go to a lot of national parks, pay the $80. You can go anywhere in the entire US. You can go as many times as you want. You can do whatever you want. $80. If you're gonna go once a year, pay the $30. Like, it's the same thing for a lot of, like, lakes and reservoirs here. If you're gonna take your car in, you have to pay for your car. You can get the parks pass, bypasses all of that. If you're a fisher, if you're a hunter, you're a skier, any of this, there's always ways that you can get around those daily prices. Skiing here in Colorado, astronomical. It is $250 a day to go skiing if you want to go to any of the places here. That's per person, right? You get a Keystone Plus pass, you get an Epic pass, you get anything like that. Price up front, gross, $750 or more, right? I think the most expensive is probably like $1,000. That's a lot of money up front, but you go 4 times a year, and most people here ski more than 4 times a year. You've already made your money back. It's pretty ridiculous. Like, there's also guest passes that come with it. It doesn't make it completely free to bring somebody, but it's like $60. That's better than $250. You also get that kind of stuff. But yeah, guys, so that was it. I thought she brought up some very interesting points. She brought up some stuff that I don't know a whole lot about. This is just straight up what I was just reacting to it. Yeah, I think she did her research. I think she's a very smart person. I like the way that she presented all of it. Seemed a little biased, but she is an American that came from here and went to the UK, so she can talk on both sides. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. We're gonna have like a lot more of these, like I said, coming out. But this was a fun one. Please keep putting in the Discord, come into my Twitch chat, put it in the chat, give me suggestions of videos that you guys want to see me do, and we will do that. But without further ado, tell somebody you love them, give somebody a kiss, have a laugh today, and I will see you all later.